Today's lesson, we're going to look at area formulas. We're looking at specifically rectangle, square, and triangle. So for the rectangle, the formula for rectangle is area equals LW. All right, the L represents length and the W represents width. All right, so you do need to know what the letters represent in the formula. All right, so we have length times width. So let's take a look at our first example. Let's say we have a rectangle like so, and we have 13 centimeters and we have 6 centimeters. All right, so again, those dashed lines represent, this is 6 centimeters and this is also 6 centimeters, 13 centimeters here and 13 centimeters here. All right, now don't get mixed up with perimeter. Perimeter was the length of the outside. The area is all the area inside of this figure. Okay, so that's the difference between area and perimeter. All right, so we're going to use substitution for our formula. Our length is 13, so we're going to substitute 13 in for L, and our width is 6, so you substitute that in for W. And when we see two variables or two letters like this together, it means they're being multiplied together. So its area is equal to length times width. All right, so here in this example, area equals LW, our length is 13, and our width is 6. So you're just going to multiply it out like this, and that gives us 78 centimeters squared. All right, so very important units. It's centimeters times centimeters, so it is centimeters squared for our units. Okay, so next we're looking at a square. The formula for a square is S times S, or you would see it as area equals to side squared. All right, those are the two ways you will see the formula for the area of a square. All right, it's not length times width like a rectangle, because in a square, all four sides are the exact same. All right, so let's take a look at our example here. We have 7 kilometers, and we know that each side therefore is 7 kilometers. All right, but our formula for area is side times side, or side squared. So area will equal to 7 times 7, which is equal to 49 kilometers squared. All right, so again, it's kilometers times kilometers, so it's kilometers squared. It's very important that you're using the correct units for area. Next, we're looking at our triangle, and you may have seen lots of different formulas for triangles, and they're all the same. So for example, if you use 0.5, A times B, where A represents height in this case, or altitude, you might have seen it as area equals to half. Like base times height, you may have seen it like that. You may have seen it as base times height divided by 2. All right, they're all the same. They're all the same thing. So you can use whichever formula you prefer. In our module, the formula that's used is this one, 0.5 AB. The A is altitude or represents height. B is base. All right, so let's take a look at our first example then. We have a triangle like so, and we are given the height as 8 meters, and then our base we are given as 9 meters. All right, so we'll just use this formula here. So when you're typing it into your calculator, you can just type in 0.5 instead of doing the half or the 1 divided by 2. So 0.5, our height or our altitude is 8, and the base is 9. All right, and it just means multiplication. It's 0.5 times A times B. So you just put that into your calculator, and we get 36, and our units are meters, so it is meters squared. Okay, so when we have word problems, just make sure you are using the 4-step method when working with problem solving. So first, always start with a diagram. You can visualize what you're looking for. Then you're going to write down your formula. Third step is the substitution. And then lastly, you're going to solve or answer it with correct units. Okay, very important that you do use the correct units. All right, so let's try an example of a word problem. All right, so in this question, it's a word problem. So an isosceles triangle has a 15 centimeter base. There we go. And its height is 14 centimeters. And we are trying to calculate the area of the triangle. So area, we're just going to use 0.5 AB, and our height or altitude is 14, and our base is 15. All right, so when you put this in your calculator, it's 0.5 times 14 times 15. And you should get 105, and the units are centimeters squared because it is area. All right, so again, units are very important.